We're live from STS Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And as you can see right up above me right here, I have the Posse. Simon and Little Chris, how the hell are you guys?
Man, doing good. How are you, BT?
Oh, man, I talk to Simon all the time, but I hardly ever see you, Chris, every once in a while on Facebook. I want everybody to know something, though, before we get started. And Simon doesn't even know this. We started this Memphis in May 4 years ago, and our first guest was Simon Reed. So there you go, Simon. That was the first guest.
I appreciate that. I remember that when we did that.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of feedback, guys. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, I got
you. You're pretty low as well.
I could edit this out, but we can't edit it out live as we're talking. I'm hearing an echo.
I hear you.
All right, is it coming from me or Lil Chris?
I don't know. Let me mute. Hold on. Yeah, test. And Simon Reed was the one that started this old Memphis in May. What we did was we went back and said, we're going to take Wrestle Right Online and we're going to talk to people that were popular back then. Now we're back 4 years later and we've got championship wrestling for Memphis and y'all are a big part of it. How's it feel to be on a weekly television show? Just start with Simon there.
Oh, man, it's awesome, dude. I mean, you already know. I mean, everybody that's part of the show is a huge Memphis wrestling fan. So it's awesome just to be hanging out with everybody at the show.
What about you, Chris? How's it feel? You're actually on Memphis Wrestling now.
Man, it's awesome. We got an opportunity right when I first broke in with Corey Macklin. Very short-lived. So to kind of come back full circle all these years later and really have an opportunity to show what we can do. And, man, there's a talent in all that locker room, top to bottom, A
lot of good guys. That's something I'll ask y'all about later on. But Chris, we talked to Simon about how he got to start being a fan, and as a little kid, he was a fan. But how did you start becoming a fan of professional wrestling? Is it all the time, or did you just start when you met Simon?
No, I was a lifelong wrestling fan. Man, started as a kid. Loved the Road Warriors, the Rock and Roll Express, the Fabs. Always loved tag team wrestling. Didn't really. I liked the singles guys, but I was always a tag team wrestling guy. WCW Saturday Night. I loved my Brad Armstrong matches.
There you go.
Oh no, putting over Brad Armstrong. I seen a discussion yesterday about Brad. Brad was, man, he was good. He was so good and smooth. So tell us, how the hell did you get hooked up with Simon? I mean, he told the story, but I just want to know, number one, how'd you get hooked up with him, and why are you still with him? That's what I want to know.
Legally, Lil Chris.
We met in college. We were both college educated, if you can believe that. And, met in class, kind of hit it off. And then one day we were riding around Martin, and this house had a wrestling ring in their front yard. So, of course, we pull up. We got to know what's going on, who's here. And, of course, the guy knows Simon, hey, y'all come work out anytime you want to. I was actually there to play football and ended up working out in the wrestling ring and, man, falling in love. Went and trained some with Donnie Bass and then Derek and those guys in Dyersburg. And then here we are all these years later still.
And BT, don't let him forget this part of the story, though. I never told Lil Chris I was a wrestler at all.
Did you not?
No, I did not talk about it at all. I didn't even know Lil Chris was a wrestling fan. And so when we passed this house, I was like, you got to be kidding me right here. And so he says, man, can we turn around and go see that ring? So the dude kind of stooged me off when he came to the car, like trying to buy a T-shirt or something.
No, it was Blaze, wasn't it? He had a ring in his fucking yard. I remember
an awesome ring.
Yeah, I heard it was a really good ring, and everyone went. And that's kind of what. you guys, I talked about this with you, Simon, but I want to talk to Chris about it. Y'all had a match one time, and well, then Dustin made me come outside. Y'all know I don't like going outside, right?
To the
So
ball
he
field.
We can tell.
he didn't tell me there was matches outside at the ball field. He just told me, come on, I want you to see this. And well, it was Derek or Dustin won, and they didn't tell me anything until I got there. And I was like, what the hell? Where's the wrestlers? And y'all were up in this little building with the AC,
Bro.
but everyone was still sweating like hell. There was all these people in there. It was you two guys against Hot Topic. And I still remember that match because it was one of the best matches I ever seen, because not really everybody gets stuck up on the work rate, but it was the emotion of it. You had Hot Topic fans. There was kids in the front row, and I'm not bullshitting you guys, that were crying because y'all were getting beat up. Crying now. I've never. Why did y'all connect so good with the fans? Why is this gimmick connect so good with the fans?
Like, are you saying did or do?
Well, okay, all right. Well, yeah.
All right, come on.
Times over, man. Y'all were 10 times over. What made that happen?
I honestly think it was a very real, genuine connection with the people. We aren't your flashiest, but we are blue collar, hardworking guys, and we are men of the people. And I think they really appreciate that. If you watch TV, I know you watch most of the episodes. Most of the guys, when they get their hand raised, they're in the middle of the ring looking at the hard cam. We roll to the floor, we're high-fiving the people, we're getting that shot with the people, and I think that connection has just really stuck.
That's good,
And
Chris.
what made y'all, what made you say, there's something y'all did also early on, and it was total merch. It was like you had a Posse shirt on every other person, and no one was doing that. No one was doing merch at the time. I think I told someone one time, I think y'all were the predecessors to the Young Bucks selling merchandise, because I seen y'all sell out almost every time y'all went to the small places.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not like trying to, everybody like fluffs up their numbers, but bro, I ain't got to, Lil Chris, when we were at the show, at one time we carried boxes that were.
Oh, I know.
I'm talking about boxes, like 5 or 6 things tall that had 16 different designs. And, we're sitting here selling them. My dad had to bring us to the show in a van. Because, dude, and we had to have my wife, my kid was so little, she slept in the gimmick box in a thing. My mom's out there, my dad's out there, it's insane, man. And I'm not saying we don't sell stuff now, but if you look at our stuff, number one, it's the exact same quality, if not better, than anything you're going to see, anything you're going to buy. You look at these shirts right here, the shirt Lil Chris is wearing right now, man, I don't know how old that shirt is. And that's the whole thing. We will not sell anything that's not quality. When you see these bracelets, man, these things are going like all the time.
He's going to put all this stuff over.
I'm just saying, man, we ain't playing around, bro. We ain't playing around.
Do you remember that you actually, I don't know, you had a place to make the shirts, and you had my CCW shirt made. Do you remember that?
Still use the same people.
Same lady.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I still have that shirt, and it's not faded not one time. It hadn't faded a bit or everything. So it's I don't know what I was thinking, a bright blue fucking shirt with yellow on it. God, that was a horrible looking shirt.
Those are 2 good colors together.
I got to ask you something, because I'm thinking about this, Simon. What about the Reed name? You, Jason, and all of you guys, was it because, I want to think it was because of comic books and the Fantastic Four and the last name Reed. Where did Reed come from?
All right. Obviously, I was Kryptonite, whatever. Because I wanted to be the evil superhero.
Right.
So that was kind of like the playoff in the beginning. And then, like, my real name is Simon Reed, Cook. And so my mother's maiden name, and then, Superman or whatever. That fool said he always wanted his name to be Jason, his real name. because his name is Roy Lee, and he's like, that's a country name, you know. So I was like, man, what is he talking about? This lunatic. And then Sean Reed was no kin, but we just, I mean, me and Lil Chris hit it off with that dude. We liked him, man. He hung out for a while. A lot of people probably may not even know that dude, but that's why it seemed like there's, because there's three, but that was it. And then we tried to call Lil Chris Chris Reed sometime, but it's just better to call him Ludacris when he's in Arkansas, or Little Chris. Depends on how you pronounce it.
I like it that Dustin and Maria, they've called everyone Big. So you on one of the shows, you was Big Simon, and he was Little Chris. So does that make you feel bad to be called Big Simon?
I mean, no, because I'm big, bro. I mean, my brother's big. I'm bigger than the Big Jack. So if he's like Big Jack, would I be even bigger?
Big,
like, could I be
Simon.
The biggest? Like, if you see me and Aaron Roberts get in the ring, it's finna be real big scrapping.
There you go. There you tell me something now. Both of you, I'm putting y'all over as tag team and being baby faces. Can y'all be heels?
Bro,
can a Posse ever be heels again? I don't know if you've ever done it.
We actually wrestled Handsome Jimmy Valiant as a heel about 3 years ago.
2 nights in a row. Thanks to NWA Mid-South. So,
I just couldn't see y'all being heels, man.
We turned on the Golden Boy in Dyersburg, which, you know, nobody, I mean, in Dyersburg, you know how that is. I mean, like, we turned on them, and, I mean, it was good. I ended up holding the singles title, putting Golden Boy out, and then Golden Boy came back after a long time and beat me. But I won, like, singles wrestler of the year as a heel. We did like the skull face paint. I mean, Little Chris.
Oh, wow.
And Little Chris was my favorite part, though, because his name was Mr. Chris. And so they had to announce him as Mr. Chris. And, like, I mean, it was hilarious. Just watching, look at Little Chris smile. Like, you know he's a heel. So
it was good stuff.
Oh, it's good stuff.
I'm going to have to try to find some of that because I did never see you guys as heels.
It's good. It's good.
All right, guys, if you're watching this live, well, we're going off live, and you'll have to go in and listen to the audio version of this. So we're going to commercial break. Thank you, guys. All right, back from commercial. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can listen to the whole audio right here. You know, we were talking about Memphis wrestling and everything, and I want y'all guys to, and I'm going to put the Dustin on the spot coming up this week. But tell me what you think. You know, when we do Rolling Into Memphis, we talk about hits and misses and the MVP and what you're looking forward to. What about you guys? Let's go with that little format real quick. What's been the big hit so far, do you think, with the championship wrestling for Memphis?
You want to go first, Little Chris?
You go ahead, brother.
Okay. I mean, obviously, Little Chris, he's my favorite wrestler. But, you know, like I have the Little Chris pajamas and everything. You can see my face paint is still good from the TV taping because Little Chris took all the heat. But honestly, like seriously, it's like the people that are wrestling at the show, each and every like guy and girl that are on the show, they are already superstars. We just had to have somebody showcase them the right way. And like that just goes to say how like Dustin Starr, you know, gave us the platform, and man, he's like, go out there and do your thing. He's not telling you like bring it down. He said, hey man, go out there and do your thing. So you got Lil Chris, you got Ken Dang, you know, Brett Michaels, people that have not got these chances, and you're like, why are these guys all working together? What in the world? How can these guys be together? Chris Legs, you know, Derek had his chance. You know, Derek's been on there, and so now, like Derek's helping build new guys. Alan's helping build new guys. We're helping build new guys. So the guys and girls that are on the show are my number one hit. They are superstars. They just needed somebody to put them out there so we could all see what they do.
Here's what I like about it. I want to tell you guys is because you're given an opportunity. A lot of guys, including you guys, never got a chance, man. Never got a chance being part of Memphis wrestling in a sense. Like Little Chris said, a real quick version of it didn't happen and it didn't last long. So that's what I really like about it. I mean, Brett Michaels is a guy that no one's seen on television at all.
No.
I mean,
And,
never have they seen him on television.
and
What
I
about you,
have to
Chris?
tell you
Go ahead.
about Brett Michaels. And that's why I threw Ken Dang's name out there, because nobody has really talked about him or like Max Stone or people. Like, everybody's like saying stuff, but for real, Brett Michaels, I can remember me and Dustin Starr got to wrestle for Motley Cruz, and Brett Michaels would jump out of the balcony on people.
Right.
And like, he's extreme, that was his thing. And but he always polite, always nice, never really crossing folks. And I mean, his time came, and look, I mean, was he not ready? I mean, the dude looks like $1 million. So the brother was ready when the call was made, and look what's going on now.
Right. I agree. I mean, and this goes to some of the tag teams there. I had talked to you about the Skimmerhorns. We talked about them yesterday, and I had talked about them on the show a lot. That when I first saw them, I was like, who are these guys? But they're really solid workers. And you guys know that it takes those kind of guys to make everybody else look good sometimes. What about you, Little Chris? What do you think about hits?
Man, the fact that we have Memphis wrestling again is the biggest hit to me. This was a dream and an idea, and now to see it come to fruition, and man, all these guys and girls are working real hard to make this mean something. We're all building something bigger than ourselves. 25 years from now, when we're old and gray, I want it to be, championship wrestling for Memphis is still flourishing, still thriving.
Right. Well, I got a question about that here in a minute, but what about you, Mrs. Simon? Where did you miss at, and you think that y'all could have done better at?
Well, I mean, honestly, the misses, I've seen quite a few things, and what's great is that I can say something to Dustin, and and like not feel like I'm going to be judged about it or get heat about it. Which is great. And like, he's like, yes, I've talked to Alan about this. I've talked to Lil Chris. I've talked to somebody, King Cobra, whoever. But the misses are like little things. And like I talked to you about it, they're just little things that we see, like as far as, just being so precise. And we're picky. I know we're picky, but every miss, I can say that we have learned from those. So they're not just misses. I mean, they're learning experience. Like, we're not just saying, "Oh, well, that was terrible. Let's do that again next week." I mean, it's like, what did we do wrong? Let's fix it. And so, if you do something wrong, maybe Alan Steele help you out. If you do something wrong, maybe me and Lil Chris will help you out. If you do something wrong, Precious going to help you out. Somebody's going to come to you, and they're going to talk to you in a normal tone, like a normal person, and you're not going to have to like that. Oh, I'm not going to be on TV next week. It's like, hey, man. We're just trying to tell you what's up. And then they say, thank you. And so I think the miss has like just been so productive, but they're just so minute.
And then, I say this a lot on the podcast, that I'm really picky every time I watch the show, because I don't want to be, I don't want to be that guy. I have people message me and say, you're giving them, you're Dustin's friend, and you're giving them, you're not being as mean to them as you used to be. I'm not that guy on WrestlingOnline.com. Right. That's not what I'm doing now. I'm doing a podcast. We're doing a review, and we're in this. And I said this, 12 weeks. What's going to happen in 12 weeks? What's going to happen in 12 weeks? Week 13, we got a whole new look, whole new thing. And so it is different. It is, and it's things that I say, like, that some people may not. Well, I know my co-host Rhino don't see like the wrestling the way I do.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What's a hot tag? I'm saying, don't, a hot tag's a hot tag. You got to make it a hot tag. So it's like, don't just stand around.
But that's what I appreciate about Rhino. That's one of my favorite things about listening to you two guys together, because he is not a wrestler or in the business. And so he's got a better perspective of what like I'm, you know, the three of us and Dustin. Dustin can tell you I wear his phone out telling him stuff, and I feel like, man, I try to always start out positive. But, I mean, like hearing those people like tell you, hey, man, I wish this or I wish this. And I'm not saying there are any misses, but I'm talking about I'm picking it apart to where I could just go on for days. And but there's so many.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that with any wrestling promotion, but it's fun. I talked to Gene Jackson's one of my co-hosts, and we talked. I actually didn't record it. I wished I would record it, but we was just bullshitting after a show, and he said he loves Rhino's point of view because Rhino is a fan. And then he likes me. And then one of my other co-hosts, Lance, says it's like I'm the Wrestling Observer of the Dave Meltzer, and he's the Pro Wrestling Illustrated version of what's going on. You know, what you got to get that perspective. And he does. He totally sees the business different than we do. And it's nice to see it every once in a while where you go, I don't see it that way. I don't really see it. What about you, Chris? Where did you miss out on? What's some misses the promotions missed out on?
I think you guys have called quite a few of them. We've had some camera work that we've kind of gotten under wraps. Some of the young guys getting comfortable and finding their voice with their promos. Getting comfortable with the whole new locker room. You know, the matches have gotten tighter. There was some, you know, hiccups here and there when we first got started, but now that we're 3 months in, we are, you know, rocking and rolling on all cylinders. So kind of back to Simon's point, I think those misses we've turned into learning experiences and opportunity for growth.
Don't you think that I said this on the podcast, but don't you think that first 4 weeks of tapings, you can sit and watch those first 4 weeks, and then the next 4 weeks of tapings, like people start getting comfortable on television. I did not know there would be so much nervousness on being on TV, but there really is. There, you know, I did television for Rampage, god awful television program. But I also did, by the way, Simon, we never talked about this, but I also did IWF in Mississippi. And I mean, everyone gets the nerves right before they go out. But after you go out, it's like I never, you know, I'm not looking at the television. I'm being on TV because I'm going to be on TV, but it's not a big deal to me. I'm still performing. Simon, I've got to ask you something. Who was it that jumped from the cage at Rampage and I moved?
Austin Lane,
and I moved.
We just said that the other day. I said, BT put his little hand out there to catch you. See, this is what BT did. And you barely.
BT was doing this with the hand. I was trying to get him back as far as I could. I looked up at that motherfucker's in the air, and I said, "No way!" He jumped over
like I will say he jumped over like 12 guys though, because nobody had ever done it, but that was like the first time me and Dustin had really wrestled. I mean, you know, like I'm not saying like wrestled, but you know, I mean, we had just started, so we didn't know. I mean, we could do moves, but we had no clue what honestly what we were doing.
No, but that Rampage was god awful. We just went in and did. That's all we did was moves, and we didn't even start. Those guys were so young, we didn't even talk about psychology. I was just like, let's get a spot, let's do television, let's just do. And they did all hardcore shit. So it's just.
It was strange.
I talked about. Yeah, I was at one of your first matches. We talked about that. I don't remember. So Lil Chris, how did you, because he had partners before you, how did you become the partner? And
Just
then you
partner.
haven't left. I mean,
it was only Dustin Starr. That's it. I mean, you know, the Beale Street Posse was a group, but it was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it was me and Dustin Starr. And then after the Moondog's death, you know, like, I mean, I just kind of went to school and was, you know, doing like, you know, I mean, I'm not even going to tell you because I might use it at the end of the thing on the thing you might not know. But
okay.
When you know, then I got with Lil Chris, and man, dude, he went to the shows without me for a while. Like I still didn't even go. But I'm saying it's only been Dustin and Chris, man. That's it, man.
Oh, all right. I guess with the Beale Street Posse, I was thinking about that. Do you remember, Simon, that you and Dustin worked a show for me and Kurt? What was his name? His last name was Warner. It was LAW. And Yeah, y'all were stiff with my guys, Chris. They were stiff.
Woo!
Yes, they were
Him,
stiff. They got
absolutely.
complaints. It was who
With
was
what
it?
guys?
Cody
Who?
and Brody Hawk. They came backstage crying that you beat
Those
the
big
hell out of
dudes?
them. Yeah, they had busted lips.
Dude, that dude's like 6'8" and 400 pounds.
I know it. They was trying to take advantage of y'all. I think,
Justin Starr was 6 years old at the time.
I know it. Y'all just beat the shit out of them. They were like, "What was that about? What was that about?" You just started punching.
I don't, man. Is Dustin Starr in the picture with you, Lil Chris?
They're in the ring bumping around training.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think you're working me on that one because I don't remember being stiff
I'm
with
serious.
anybody.
They got a complaint. That was like my biggest gate ever.
Oh, really?
There was a huge complaint about you guys being stiff. They didn't want to work you two guys again.
Jesus. I mean, man, that is, dude, I ain't believing you said that, man. That's crazy. I like those guys.
Man.
They're funny, man.
So tell me, who do y'all think's the MVP? Who's that? See, if you listen to the podcast every week, you know I'm high on the Young Goats, and I'm high on that team. Who do you guys think
On
is
three,
gonna
Little Chris?
Do what?
Let's say it on three, Little Chris. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. Dustin Starr.
Oh.
Bro, without Dustin Starr, this wouldn't be going on. He didn't give up when everybody else thought like it couldn't happen. Like he still was pushing. And like all those years, and he was like, man, Memphis wrestling can happen. So I have to say, man, when I lived at his house, we talked about it, and he was like, man, I'm gonna, you know, I just love Memphis wrestling, and our goal was to be on Channel 5. And like, dude, that's all we talked about. We didn't talk about WWE or AEW or none of that stuff, WCW, whatever. I mean, dude, he wanted to be on Memphis wrestling. I wanted to be on Memphis wrestling, and I mean, we all thought that like people were holding us down forever. Man, they ain't holding us down anymore. Ain't nobody holding us down. If you look at Dustin Starr's Facebook thing from yesterday, dude, he said, you know, what are you going to do? He said, man, the torch ain't being passed, so we're just going to go take it. And I feel like, you know, that Royal Rumble, you know, back when we were like kids, the Royal Rumble picture where it had all the guys like walking up together, you know, the little drawings, and everybody's like in the background, like following like the Warrior or Hogan. Man, dude, that's why I feel like. I just feel like we have just an army, man, just coming at people and just saying like, bro, this is Memphis wrestling, man. This is championship wrestling for Memphis. Like nobody's doing it like us, man. So it's no joke.
Chris, what do you think about all, because you got competition, kind of, not really, but you kind of got competition. You got all these people that, and this is typical in this area. You know how this is, guys. So if I drew a crowd over here in Jonesboro and we had 5,000 people or whatever, 500, how about that? How much y'all want to bet that within 2 weeks you'd have somebody else try and run Jonesboro? So that's what's going to happen, and you guys know that. My advice is do not pay attention to anything that's going on around you. But do you see that is what's going to happen, Chris? That other people will try to be like y'all.
That is the nature of business. If some people see you being successful, they want a piece of that success. I think the most successful people just focus on themselves. We are worried about championship wrestling for Memphis being the best it can be. Like, that's why we're here training right now on our off days, to be the best we can be. You know, anything anybody else is doing, I wish them all the success, but we're focused on ourselves right now and just, you know, bringing a great product to the people in Memphis and to all your television screens every week.
Awesome. Hey, guys, I want to thank y'all for coming out. You know, we're coming to the end, so I want you to put over your stuff. Where you out on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Do you want to put your stuff out there?
Little Chris, like, I just want to, man, instead of putting ourselves over, I just want to like say thank you to all of our families, like our parents, our wives and kids that have put up with us for the last 20 years and like not giving up on us. And all these people that have been with us, like, you know, said that we could do it and they believed in us. Now we believe in ourselves and really like are going out there. The TV crew, Tops Barbecue in the house, you know, all the gimmick tables. I mean, all the wrestlers, King Cobra, man, y'all just don't know about King Cobra. He is over with the Posse. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just can't even tell you. And number one, delicious Dustin Starr. I mean, he's kind of over with me.
Anything you want to put over there, Chris?
No, if you want to catch us, you can catch us this Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Drive-In Wrestling.
Right
Man,
on.
come on out, man. It'll be a good day for the wrestling. Nice weather, food truck set up.
All right, right on,
If you
guys.
come out,
Y'all
Chris
know.
will hold your kid for you. He don't mind.
There you go. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, and I know Simon knows, and I know little Chris knows, I love my mama. All right. This is